Is that going to be a new thing? Are you going to try to be early?
Yes, I'm trying to be early.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right.
She was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy
Ellen
file.
didn't leave America because of political changes she ran, because the walls are finally closing in on her darkest industry ties. Once federal agents raided Diddy's homes, the biggest names in Hollywood started panicking, and the former Queen of Nice quietly packed her bags for the UK. But the real reason she fled goes way beyond a few wild parties. Just listen to how openly she used to talk about it on national television.
With her wife.
Is that going to be a new thing? Are you going to try to be early?
Yes, I'm trying to be early.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late. Because, you know, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I promise you I'm not going to let you down on this big one.
All right,
For
good.
real.
Good.
Your shoes, your feet are going to have blisters. You're going to be dancing so hard.
I can't wait.
And that's where this ties back to the carefully crafted illusion. For years, daytime television's biggest star played the perfect dancing host while secretly rubbing elbows with the industry's most questionable figures. What makes this theory interesting is how quickly her untouchable empire fell apart the moment people started asking real questions. Long before she packed up her multi-million-dollar mansion and crossed the ocean, the cracks in her sunny persona were already showing. It started with whispers from her own staff stories of a completely toxic environment where everyone walked on eggshells. But the public had no idea just how bad things really were behind those studio doors. Her own peers knew she was putting on an act, and they finally started saying the quiet part out loud. Watch Joe Rogan break it down perfectly.
Losing their mind.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very
she could
sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia. Could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Release
So,
the Diddy files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites.
That forced smile hid a massive operation of control. When those workplace reports broke, her brand took a massive hit, but it was the tragic string of events that followed which really raised red flags. Just months after the cameras stopped rolling for good, her own executive producer, a beloved dancer who fans adored, suddenly passed away under incredibly heartbreaking circumstances. People began wondering what he might have seen behind the scenes of that massive media empire. The pressure he was under was unimaginable, and the media quickly tried to sweep the darker details under the rug. He wasn't the only one in her circle to face a sudden tragedy right after the show ended. The timing of it all just felt wrong. Even the news anchors couldn't ignore the strange timeline.
It's so weird when you see, like, a lot of people saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that's people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. People that are like that all the time, she doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. And whatever, you're allowed to be a bitch, right? You're allowed to be a bitch. You're allowed to be nasty to people. You're accomplished. You're a comedian. You did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage of your show where everybody's walking around afraid for their life, and it's like Abu Ghraib where they're hooked up to wires and they
dogs
have like
around them.
Yeah, she's got dogs and hoods. If an intern's late, they have a hood on. I don't support that. That's just me.
Yeah.
Once that perfect facade crumbled, the internet started digging into her past interviews, and what they found is deeply unsettling. Hollywood has always protected its own, and the late-night couches are where the biggest open secrets are hidden in plain sight as jokes. That's where things start to connect. We are talking about a culture where powerful executives and A-list hosts cover up terrible behavior with a laugh track. Young stars were thrown into these environments with zero protection, while the people in charge simply looked the other way. The entire system is built on keeping outsiders in the dark. But industry veterans know exactly how the machine operates. Just listen to what comedians who actually worked in that era have to say about the shadowy side of child stardom.
Out of character for him. Because there were no details about Twitch's death, people just rushed to fill that void. This was at the time when Ellen had built this edifice as the nicest person on television. She would have YouTube stars, and all of a sudden that edifice was crumbling.
That is the dark reality of the entertainment business. Kids are treated like commodities, and the biggest talk show hosts are completely complicit. Instead of protecting these young stars, people in Ellen's position used their trauma for ratings. Take Justin Bieber, for example. He was thrown into this chaotic world and spent entirely too much time at Diddy's infamous events. When his privacy was severely violated as a teenager, you would expect a mentor to step in and offer support. But that didn't happen. Instead of showing any real empathy, the host brought him on national television and turned his nightmare into a punchline. The way she handled it tells you everything you need to know about her true character. Watch her face closely right here.
Well, what amazed me, though, is that got so much attention, and I was in the bungalow next to you, and when I saw it, I was shocked.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people didn't see. I was right there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
My hat.
She laughed right in his face. It was never about being kind, it was always about control and maintaining the status quo for the elite. And that brings us to the weirdest part of her downfall. As the public turned on her, internet sleuths began noticing bizarre details about her home and her set designs. We are talking about strange artwork, creepy social media posts during the 2020 lockdowns, and architectural choices that eerily mirrored the structures on a certain notorious billionaire's private island. Why would a daytime talk show host surround herself with such dark, questionable symbolism? It might sound crazy at first, but when you look at the background of her videos, the patterns are impossible to ignore. Some people believe they hide these things right in front of us.
Symbolism will be their downfall. Or is it just art? And let me be the first to tell you, it's all connected. I mean, if you know, you know. But first, let's go back to that video of Ellen DeGeneres. When the camera turns, you can see the inside of her house. Now, see that picture right there? Well, if you pause it and look it up, it says evil thoughts with revenge right next to it. Here's another picture of Ellen in her house, and this is the picture behind her. Now, the thing I'm curious about is the letters on top of the picture. These look oddly similar to the letters Marina Abramovich writes out when she does spirit cooking. Remember the beginning of the video? It's all connected. And that person that was in all red is Lady Gaga, and she went to Marina Abramovich many times for teaching. But let's continue. This is another picture of Ellen in her home. She's cutting her mother's hair, but what is that picture above her head?
Look at it.
What makes this theory interesting is that none of these bizarre choices happen by accident. Every piece of art, every set design, and every guest appearance is carefully planned by a massive PR team. So when the industry's biggest power players started facing federal charges, the people who operated in those exact same circles panicked. It is no coincidence that just as the authorities started seizing hard drives from mansions in Miami and Los Angeles, the queen of daytime television decided she was suddenly done with America. She sold her estate and quietly moved across the pond, hoping the news cycle would just forget about her. But her former peers haven't forgotten, and they are finally speaking out about her real legacy.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I thought of you when Ellen DeGeneres went through her thing, and she goes, my advice to everybody is, if you're going to be known as something, being known as the be kind lady is probably going to bite you in the ass. And I wondered what that whole queen of nice.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
did bite me
thinking,
in the ass. Yeah.
Did you think it bit you in the ass? I wasn't aware of that. But
Not in the way that Ellen's talking about, I think. But, I said the day it came out, look at this, the queen of nice. In a couple of years, it's going to be the queen of lice, the queen of fried rice, the queen of we don't like her anymore.
The queen of nice became the ultimate cautionary tale. She built $1 billion empire by telling the world to be kind, all while ruling her studio with an iron fist and partying with the darkest figures in music and film. Now, she is sitting in the English countryside, watching as the federal investigations inch closer and closer to her old Hollywood friends. Will the authorities eventually knock on her door to ask what she really knew about those VIP rooms? Or did she manage to pack her bags just in time to escape the fallout? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe she fled to protect her secrets? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive.